I'd like to introduce to you our very own Betty Crocker. Get ready for Charcuterie 101.
Thank you, Yvette. And thank you for joining us, the Charleston Alumnae chapter, as we celebrate May Week. For those of you that don't know, my line name is Betty Crocker. I do have a degree in food and nutrition. Have not practiced as a nutritionist, but we are going to go over Charcuterie 101. And I'd like to welcome this evening my two guests that are here with me, Monique Washington and Barbara Nwokike. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. If you have any questions about anything that's going on, please make sure to drop it in the chat and we'll chat about it. Charcuterie is derived from the French words flesh, chair, and cooked, cute. And the practice of salting meats goes way back to the Romans. But charcuterie got its beginning in the 15th century with the French, because this is the way working class people ate. They had a meal with meat, cheese, some fruit, and of course, they had wine or beer. And so it became popular in the 19th century in the United States when we went from having formal parties to cocktail parties. And everyone thinks that a charcuterie board has to be very expensive or it has to be done on a wooden board, and it does not. A charcuterie board is whatever you make it. It's simple as that. This evening, I made a little simple one here before we got started. And this is for my guests this evening while they watch me create the big one. Now, just to go through show you a few examples of charcuterie boards that I've seen. This one that you see on the screen was from a bar and grill. And you see it's for one or two people, and it had some strawberries and olives and salami on it. The next one, this was a breakfast charcuterie board, and it has like waffles and different breakfast items, bacon and everything. Now this one, the individual went to a craft store and they found the letters to form someone's name, and they filled the charcuterie, the name with different food items. So as you can see, you don't have to keep it on a wooden board. And this is one that I created a couple of months ago, about 6 months ago, I guess. And that's kind of where we're gonna start with. This is a schematic of what I'm going to attempt to do tonight. You see in the middle, there's the 13 for 1913. Deltas, I had to represent somewhere. So what I'm gonna say is that sometimes your charcuterie board has a design in it, a purposeful design. It's not just the foods on the display. So we're going to do the 13 and work around that. Tonight, before we get started, sometimes on your charcuterie board, you may have items that someone may not recognize. And if that's the case, then you need to make little signs to put on the charcuterie board for them to recognize. Now, most of the items I'm using tonight, everyone will know, but I made a little, and I don't know if you can see it very well, a little pepper jack, and I used a toothpick and a piece of paper, and I just cut a piece of paper, wrote the name of the item on it, got a glue stick, put some glue on it, folded it in half, put a toothpick in it. And there you have your little sign that you're going to place on your charcuterie board so people can identify certain objects, just in case you have something, food items, just in case you have something someone may not recognize. Now, talking about the different ways that you can display your charcuterie boards. You can use a simple plate. This is a wine glass that had been flattened. And We can call these like date night charcuteries because they're small and they're intimate for your pleasure at home. This is a larger cutting board. And this one's even a little bit bigger. But it does not have to be placed on wood. Don't confine yourself to working on wood on it. And we have even seen individual, not maybe this big, but individual charcuteries boards set up so that people could just pick it up and move where they're not actually picking off on the board. Okay, so tonight, I am using bowls, like sometimes for wet items, like your olives, and I'm going to use them for the cookies, and the ranch dressing. So I know in the item I had ramekins, and the ramekin, I meant to bring an example of one. They're just more so white and they're tall. It looks almost like your chef hat. It's tall and white and round, but a bowl will do. We're using salami, and we're gonna make meat roses. We're gonna roll ham. And then we've got pepperoni to put on the board. We have 3 different variations of crackers. We have cheese, we have brie, we have pepper jack, and we have sharp cheddar. Now, my sharp cheddar I put in cubes. My brie I'm going to cut in like pie slices, and the pepper jack already come in squares, and we're going to arrange them. And this gives a little variety to your board, where visually, so everything doesn't look the same. We're using tomatoes. I've sliced some cucumbers, and we have carrots. And generally you have about 3 of every item, like 3 meats, 3 vegetables, 3 fruits, so forth and so on. And then my fruits, I'm using grapes, strawberries, and olives. And yes, olives is a fruit. So I think I've described all the food items. Well, we've got nuts, we've got cashews, almonds, cranberries that we're going to kind of use as fillers on the board. And we have chocolate and chocolate chip, little mini chocolate chip cookies. So we're going to get started. In all great things that are planned, things go wrong. I put on the board that I wanted to use bread, and I was looking for the Pepperidge Farm little small hors d'oeuvre type slices and could not find it. Then I thought I was going to use a French bread and slice it. Well, it didn't slice well at all. So we're just using crackers tonight for the one in 1913. So we've got 3 different types of crackers, and so I'm going to use all 3 in the one for the 13. Okay, and now for my 13, I'm just using these to kind of help me figure out where to put the grapes, because they're going to be my 13. And in advance, I've washed all of the fruit, but when you do grapes, you don't leave grapes in the big clump. You break them up into 3 and 4 so that it's easy for people to pick up and move on. That just burns me up when I go to events and they've got the one big clump of grapes and everybody's trying to break them off. Okay, so and one thing when you're creating your charcuterie board, you don't want to put things things that may roll too close to the edge. And we'll beef this up with some more grapes as we move on after we get other things in place. Okay. So now I'm going to start with my cucumbers, and I'm gonna fan them out. Now you can slice them your cucumbers round, you can make sticks, just whatever you would like, however you want your vegetables to look is quite all right. There's no wrong way to display your vegetables.
Soror Wigfall, I know you have the schematic at the beginning, but is it okay to just throw it on there and see what it looks like?
Well,
If we're not good at sketching out.
yes, because I don't have the schematic actually here. It's on the screen, so that I can't really see. I'm going by memory what I had. So perfectly all right. If nobody will tell. I know I had tomatoes. Here. There's some more tomatoes in here too. We're gonna line up some pepperoni. Excuse me. And now we're going to make some meat roses with our salami. These are some examples of your meat roses. And they're very easy to make. And I'm gonna have Barbara and Monique come up and try their hand at it. So ladies, if you come over here and get a glove. And there's two ways that you can make meat roses. One is going to be with the glass and one is just with the salami itself. You can line it up 3 across, fold it, and then tightly roll it. And after you roll it, you take a toothpick, spear it, and put it down. And there you have one of the simplest types of meat roses to make. Is out of salami. Slice it, the 3 slices, fold it, roll it. And then spear it with a toothpick. Okay. Tonight, Monique and Barbara are going to help me make these roses. And if you'd each get a wine glass.
Not to drink.
Not to drink. You need 2 glasses when you're doing charcuterie. One for your wine and one to work with. And the smaller the glass, the better. So you're going to set your glass down and you're going to take about 10 slices of salami. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half around the rim of the glass. And then you're going to just kind of layer it like about halfway through that. We're going to fold another piece over.
I think I'm on Top Chef. The quick fire. The quick fire. They have a Top Chef.
I haven't watched that one. I'm a Chop fan and Supermarket Steakout.
Okay.
We had another neat one made there. Okay. So after you fold it over, all you have to do is turn it upside down and pull it off. And there you have your meat roast. Ta-da.
Look at that.
That's
Pretty. So there are the three, we all made a meat roast. Thank you, ladies.
Just have baseball flag, please.
Thank you. And if they fall apart, just make them again. Yeah. So now we have some meat roasts there. Okay. Thank you, ladies. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do pepper jack down the side, and the pepper jack that I bought was already cut into cubes. And I started to cut it in triangles and stack it, but then I decided I would just lay it, and just alternate the angle of it. It should, just where they can get it easy with the tongs. And like I say, you're just trying to create some can't talk and do it at the same time. Just some visual, nothing fancy. Have to look at what I'm doing. Okay. Any questions in the
Looks like we might have one question in the chat. Oh, I like that trick. Jane says that she likes the trick with the roses.
Oh, thank you, Jane. And Jane is a soror from College Park alumni, East Point College Park alumni. Let me get it right. And thank you for joining us, Jane.
Any other questions or comments? Feel free to place them in the chat.
Okay, so now we've got our pepper jack down.
Show my face since I didn't have it on. I'm enjoying it. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. We're gonna do our carrots over here.
We have another comment in the chat that says, Pioneer Woman has nothing on you, Betty Crocker. That's from Cheryl McWilliams.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. And Cheryl is a member of the Divine Nine, and thank you for joining us this evening, Cheryl. She's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So as they have more things that they can lean on, we can put more things on. Something, oh, some more cheese. I know what I wanted to get on here. Next. And yeah. I'm sorry, Monique, could you open that for me? Or is it open already? Monique was my little sous chef here earlier, and I should have known she had it done. Thank you. So you can just lay your meat, you can make roses, or you can roll your meat. And we're gonna roll the ham.
While you roll the ham, we have a question. It says, are those olives or grapes?
These are grapes. We haven't gotten the olives on yet.
Can you get more of a close-up for us Delta deers can't see so well? We sure can. Let's see. Which way? We'll we'll get a closer shot from up top, and I'll try to get one from the front as well.
Well, this is our first production, so we are learning. Okay, roll meat, stay rolled.
All right, we're gonna get a little closer.
And I could have cut these in half and made them smaller rolls.
So this is a different angle here from the front. You see what our hands are doing.
Is that better?
And we'll get closer with the overhead as well.
Now in this bowl here, I'm going to put ranch dressing.
I don't feel like I got too much closer.
Well, let's see, is that answer in the chat, did she do better?
Okay, we got yes, great, awesome.
Okay, so we got our meat rolls there. We're gonna put strawberries here. And it's funny that, charcuterie boards have just really taken off in the last couple of years. And I guess we just never gave them their proper name. We just always just got the fruit and cheese and all that good stuff. And the meat and cheese. Ooh.
We still have room at the top and the bottom.
Top is supposed to be the brie in that corner.
And the
brie.
chocolate.
The brie is supposed to be in this corner. Okay. Okay. And we're going to cut him like a pie. We're going to cut him in slices.
Okay, good.
Pyramids. I guess it would be kind of mini pyramids. And it's good to have everything sliced so it's easy for everybody to access everything on the plate. And use what you like. I did a lot of, well, I didn't do a lot, but I did some research on doing this. And they said, don't go out and buy things that you wouldn't normally eat. Because if it's too much for your board, you don't want to waste the food. And I spent approximately $75 for all of the items that I have. And I hope I can get everything on the board.
So it looks like we have another comment, very healthy board from Jane. And Mitzi Lawrence had a problem. She said that she didn't get the roses correct, so she ate the salami.
Well, I'm glad you ate the salami.
Well,
But-
just to let you know, we will have a recording of this, so you can always go back and try your hand at the rose again, whether it's the one you roll tight or the wine glass version.
And you can, in doing it, Was there anything in particular that you ladies, when you were folding it over, that you found that to do it, just folding it and touching it, or?
Yeah,
Would it-
just gotta just get it molded to each other so they don't flap. Just make it tight.
Okay. There's supposed to be another bowl for my cookies and trying to
The
get-
chocolate.
Yeah, I'm running out of space here. I'm kind of trying to condense this down here so I can get everything on, because I still have cheese and I've got the cookies and I got some little minis so that just to give a little, some little mini chocolate chips. And we'll put a few more in there. We've got cashews, almonds, and I don't think the cranberries are gonna make it. So let's see, cheese. Now this is our cheddar. And we'll put him along the bottom. So you see I have cheese that's in squares, we have the brie, and then we have the cubes of the cheddar. Okay. Okay, okay. We're gonna have to do a little. I'm gonna stack these so I can make room for my bowl. For the olives. And I got olives that were stuffed with feta cheese. And they don't want to leave the jar. There they go. Okay. So we have
You put that chocolate on
chocolate.
You've been waiting on the chocolate.
there?
You playing with the chocolate.
With the chocolate, what I like to do is I like to get the Hershey's. And because it's already got, it naturally breaks. So you don't have to really worry about how you divide it. And so, well, is he gonna break for me today? Let's see. Just because I said that, right? You can break.
I'll
some.
break it for you, but I have to use my teeth.
Thank you for your offer. Let's see if that'll, there you go. You just needed a little encouragement, I guess.
Okay, so while you do that,
Do we have any other questions?
Jenna says, fancy. Now I know how to make one. Looks delicious. And Cheryl says, how many will this board feed?
That's a good question.
Not too much. 50
What would you say, Barbara?
people. Wow. You just.
I mean, because people are just getting little bits.
One piece of cheese and a cracker and walking around.
Barbara's limited to you to one piece of
One piece
cheese
of cheese.
and a cracker.
Make it two.
One of each type?
No one can eat just one.
Okay. So we got our chocolate.
I like cheese. I like cheese.
And I'm going to put some chocolate over here too. That's because I don't want to stack up too much there. Let me build something here. Okay.
So we have another remark from Jane. She said she gave a suggestion to make the plate small. That will limit the amount that people take.
Oh, well, that is a good point. If you give them a little plate, they can't get but so much.
Plate or a small napkin.
I was gonna ask that if a napkin would do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you do see it where there isn't a plate. There is just
Yeah.
where they can just pick, you know. But then do you want people like all over your board like that? Now, I would put the nuts on, but right now, let me see if I can make a. And as you can see, you can monitor and adjust. I'll put some nuts here between some pepperoni so we get it on the board. Because I don't want to put them too close to the end and they roll off. Okay, so open up your ranch dressing.
We have another person that couldn't get the roses.
With the roses, if you take your, like a champagne flute, and I've got a few pieces of, I've got some more salami left, ladies. And take it and fold it. Am I in the camera angle right now? And you want to kind of layer it on top of each other, like it's going to be almost like a little bit more than half. And press it. So that's 3. So 5, at least 5 should be cover that flute. Take at least 5 pieces of salami to cover it. And then do a second layer, pressing it, folding it, and pressing it.
Okay, I see how you're mashing it down so it sticks together.
And you want it to go in. And then when you flip it over, you have your meat rose.
And then it has a little hole in the middle, so you could almost put a little tomato or something in there to.
You could. Some of them are opened up a little bit more than others, and you could put you could do that.
Or cheese in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put on a little blue thing on the side.
Say what?
So you put on the little blue top if you don't have room on the board.
Put it where?
Just off the board on the little top right there.
Oh. But anyway, thank you for joining me this evening. But this is Charcuterie 101. And I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have much success with your charcuterie board at home.
All right. Are there any other questions? Any comments?
I couldn't even get all the crackers on.
Hey, that's a big.
Cheryl says, thanks. This was very good. Oh, Jane does ask, how will they pick up the items?
So they have the tongs to use to pick up the different items. Yeah. And you have a small spoon
for the ranch and for the brie, we have a spreader that they can use to pick it up, or they can use the tongs. So this was actually for something else, but they can use it for the brie.
So I have a question about the brie, because I'm not really a cheese person, but how do you eat brie? You just
On
bite
crackers.
into it? Do you take the white stuff off? Isn't there like a shell on it? You just eat the whole thing?
Yeah.
You can eat the whole thing.
Okay.
It's great with blueberries.
But I take the shell off personally.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people, and I didn't have that here this evening, they use like a fig jam or blueberry jam or raspberries, something like that, something sweet honey, along with their brie on a cracker or on bread. And like I said, the bread didn't work, and
He wouldn't have fit on there anyway.
yeah, I think I kind of overestimated what I could get on this board.
I have to get a bigger board.
Who's gonna
No,
eat this?
no bigger board. This is big enough, but
So we do have a thank you, Ms. Wigfall. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the other question was, will this board be available tomorrow at the Big Kid event? Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. So you have to be here in order to participate.
Let's see, we got another one. Thanks, I really enjoyed the class. My rose now looks like a rose. All right.
Very good.
Thank you for the session. Thank you, Ms. Crocker. Yes, thank you, Ms. Crocker.
Thank you for being here, because if you weren't here, I wouldn't have an audience.
This is true. Well, thank you, everyone. If we don't have any other questions, then we'll call this chapter of Charcuterie 101 closed. I'll be there to partake. Thanks, Betty. Okay, we've got some people saying that they will be there. Thank you. This was great. All right. Well, everyone have a great evening. And for those of you that come out tomorrow for the Big Kid Bash, we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much.
Good night.